they wanted me to talk bad about Jay-Z and R. Kelly and Diddy and stuff like this. And it's like, bro, that's not what I'm about. I'm not finna base my content off tearing down no other black man, no matter what the they did, because I want to point the figures at the slave masters behind them. They got them doing certain things.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.
Well, that's another point that we probably should get at, because I heard you mention somebody named Wack 100.
Yeah.
And it's people like him, like they can convince the public that they plugged in and shit, but they own people who really tied in with these mobs, do not like them or do not respect them. And they people know that people like Wack 100, even Big U, like them niggas was all informants, man. They was all working for the feds. And they let people like this work for them and get away with stuff because this how they keep control of the real ones, people like me and you. You know what I mean? Like, they knew what the Big U been doing. Like, he wasn't getting away with that check-in shit that long if you not tied in with them, and people was already exposing that he working with them. You know, so when people say the government has something to do with Nipsey Hussle, then they find out a Crip did it. These same Crips, they tied into the government as informants. So yes, the government still has something to do with it.
Wow. You know then why they went and picked him up the other day? For the,
Big U?
Yeah.
Because it only runs so long. The time runs out where the bargaining chip has to be turned. If they don't feel like they can get nothing else out of it, just like the movies you watch, I think they turn against you at some point.
And then
so he's no use to them anymore.
Not just that, but that's one of the main factors. The other thing is when the community start pointing a finger at them, your informants, now it's like, okay, these people got handlers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you not tied in with the whole government. You tied in with this one federal agent who got control of your ass. But these other agents gonna look like, you gotta do something about dude, man. They saying he killed this person and they did this. Like, you can't keep letting them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gotta move with, or we gonna look back.
There you go. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I'm just, man, the way that you look at things, even, I mean, we got people here, Yellow, murder for hire, that charged him with. You got Lil Durk, murder for hire. You know, these cases, man, are steadily, they popping up. They 5 years, that Mo 3 case was 5 years old. He had died 5 years ago, then all of a sudden it resurfaces.
But that, like, this internet shit go a long way, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this shit so conniving, and a lot of, like, I could tell if Pimpin' Ken fuck with you, how he fuck with you, I could tell you a real one. But a lot of these podcasters, back to Wack 100, Adam 22, Vlad, these motherfuckers is government informers, bro.
You better say
and
it.
They be basically interrogating these goofy ass rappers on their platform.
Yeah.
Like, this the same type of shit somebody asks you in the interrogation room.
And how people just run into him. That's what threw me off. I was so frustrated with that. Me and Kim were talking about that 2 years ago. How all our people just running up to these platforms, and they wouldn't even come to their own people's platform. And it's like, why?
See, they know
money.
Certain people could, there we go, certain people could be bought. Like my situation, I don't know if you looked into my situation with Sean Atwood. I was doing a lot of business with them. Most of my interviews was on their show.
Yeah, I seen that.
I fell out with them and exposed them as Ku Klux Klan Aryan Nation members.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And Sean Atwood admitted he was an Aryan Nation member in the past interview, but he said he ain't no more. Like, come on, bro. Like, I know how this shit go. You can convince your audience that, but I know. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they tried to buy me. They break down the numbers like this. They say, look, we got like 1 million subscribers. We can create you a channel. We can almost guarantee you gonna at least attract 2,000 subscribers just off our subscribers.
Yeah.
And we're gonna charge them $8 a month, so that's $16,000 a month for you. Wow. You know what I'm saying? All we want you to do is keep the content going and talk about this and that. You know what they wanted me to do? That's why I reached out to Diddy. Like, I don't like him either, but it's not about how I feel about him as a person.
That's right.
I want to win for the culture against this system. You know what I mean?
That's right.
But they wanted me to talk bad about Jay-Z and R. Kelly and Diddy and stuff like this. And it's like, bro, That's not what I'm about. I'm not finna base my content off tearing down no other black man, no matter what the they did, because I want to point the figures at the slave masters behind them. They got them doing certain things.
That's right. And that's the whole game. To be able to, that's what black media is supposed to be here for, to give us a fighting chance. You understand that? That's why me and my wife sit here, to be honest with you, because I know that we can it became a ministry for me, to be honest with you, a healing situation where people could sit here and talk about their life and it be looked upon where another brother could see it, and then it can help him. Your story can help somebody else. Just like you said, being 11 years old and being in Milwaukee and being in them streets, you can go back and speak to a 13, 14-year-old and know exactly what they're going through. When you sitting on this panel, you've been in prison. I've been through situations. My wife been through situations. Ken been through situations. All of the 5,000 people we've dealt with, the blind goddess, all these different people that been on my show, it's been testimony after testimony, and that's what give me the feedback. People be like, man, some people be like, man, this was messy, but Boss Talk don't be doing it like that. Some people say, no, they do. And you're going to get your ones who going to say whatever. But the main thing is that the testimony is being spoken, right? Yeah. Everything we spoke on today, the godly points, the point where you studied Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, being able to speak with Muslims because others can't because they didn't study enough. Stuff like that is powerful, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So people see this part and it gets them, be like, man, I watched that Boss Talk. It was deep, you know. But then you got others that are looking for something else. And so it appeals to whatever, it turns itself to whichever way a person want to receive it, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is black media has an opportunity for us to be able to tell our story in our own way. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it don't have to always be bad. It is going to be some bad, but it's going to be a lot of good. All that stuff mixed up, and then the stuff that's, I'm not with it, I am with it, it puts it in a place where it becomes a realization. Mm-hmm. All stories going to have all different types, parts. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a pretty picture the whole time. Am I right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, you got to paint the picture for what it is, man. I'm being real. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lie on nobody. I want people to see this thing for what it really is. But the main thing is to be taken serious when you sit in that seat. That's my most important thing. So when a person watch Boss Talk, they get to look at you and be like, man, I watched that Ronnie Bo, man, that thing was serious, because it's a serious situation. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. So I like Ken, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I don't invite everybody to my show. You'll be amazed at the people I didn't let come on here, because I never charged nobody for an interview.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.